Why is Tesla stock giving us this discount today of 5.69%? Well, the markets are down today, but also there's another reason. Let's take a look.
Stocks are pulling back, markets getting hit, and in Tesla at least to blame for some of it. Now down 6% following recalls. Are these like real recalls or is this like a software update, Jenny?
Okay, I have to say that not to condemn this headline, but I think this is another one of these misleading headlines.
Oh, you know it is bad when even the mainstream media is complaining about mainstream media.
Let's start first off with the recall announcement from Tesla. This is a recall by Tesla, but after consultation with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which has been investigating full self-driving beta software. There have been reports over the last couple of years that there have been accidents or incidents where the software was not acting as it should, whether it was going through stop signs or going into an intersection from a right-hand only lane or was not acknowledging the change in the speed limit on the road. Well, after the investigation, after NHTSA said, you know what, we think you should update this software to correct these problems.
This is just beyond ridiculous. Tesla full self-driving beta is still in beta. Of course, it will not stop for every sign. Of course, it will speed sometimes. Of course, sometimes it will try to do something absolutely crazy. It is in beta. Should Tesla update full self-driving software? Of course, which is exactly what they have been doing. They regularly update it because it is still in beta. They update it to make it better so that the software misses less stop signs, so that the software knows, okay, here, there's the speed sign, so you should not speed here. You should reduce the speed. Oh, now you can go faster. Now you can speed up. But this is some political posturing. You don't need to tell Tesla to update its full self-driving software. Tesla is already doing that. But of course, now, then full self-driving software will get better. Oh, NHTSA will now take credit for it.
They will be doing an over-the-air software update, and we'll start to see that roll out here relatively quickly as they address this issue. Keep in mind, guys, this does not address the question that a lot of people have, which is, if it's not full self-driving technology, why is it called full self-driving? The head of the NTSB, among others, have said that's misleading. That's a completely separate question. The bottom line is that you will see FSD beta over-the-air software updates happening relatively soon.
Tesla is fairly, I don't want to characterize it. Let me just ask it as a question. Does Tesla disclose that this, quote, full autonomous driving mode is a test version and does not replace the driver's requirement to pay
Oh, they make
attention?
it very clear. They make it very clear, Tyler.
Huh? This guy goes from saying this is misleading to, oh, they make it very clear in less than 1 minute. I don't know about you, but to me that sounds a little bit misleading than just a minute ago. You were making it sound like it is absolutely misleading and you did not add any commentary to it to say that, oh, but Tesla makes it very clear it's in beta. You didn't do that. You had to be asked a whole separate question. So if that other TV host moved on to another question, everyone would have an impression, oh, Tesla does not make it clear. No, like he's just said, Tesla makes it absolutely abundantly clear. In fact, you cannot turn on the full self-driving software until you clearly agree that you have to pay attention to what the car is doing at all times. And the specific wording that Tesla is using is that the car may do the absolute worst thing at the absolute worst time.
They make it very clear, Tyler, not only when you buy a Tesla, but also when, on conference calls or at other times, Tesla has said drivers are told you need to stay engaged. You need to have your hands ready to grab the steering wheel, take control of the situation. So they have made it very clear legally that it is your responsibility as the driver to stay engaged.
No wonder people don't trust the media anymore. I mean, he just a few moments ago was making it sound like Tesla is committing a crime. He knows the facts, and yet earlier he chose to withhold these facts. One problem with the media is that the clips are short. You don't have much time to explain the whole thing, so maybe he was just trying to save time to get to the next question, but still, I mean, it would have only taken him 3 seconds to mention, but Tesla makes it very clear, you have to pay attention at all times. That took me how long? 3 seconds. And yet, he didn't do it. Does that sound honest to you? Leave a comment below.
What about this unionization issue, Phil? Is it true that they fired employees?
Well, the employees have filed a complaint with the NLRB saying that they were fired after it came to light that they are pushing for unionization. So now this will go before the NLRB, the National Labor Relations Board, and these employees say we have a right to organize, to take a unionization vote, and that they were fired once Tesla found out about this. We have seen this happen from time to time with companies, guys, where employees say we were engaging in the right to organize and then we were let go by a company. And the NLRB will ultimately be the ones who make a decision on whether or not that was the case.
I am all for fair work conditions and employees getting paid well. Tesla already does that. I do not understand why these employees would want to join this corrupt UAW leadership. The federal investigation into corruption among top UAW leadership led to a total of 16 convictions, including 2, not just 1, 2 former UAW presidents. Former UAW President Gary pleaded guilty to diverting over $1 million from UAW for his own personal use. Another former president, Dennis, also pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 21 months in prison. Is that an organization you really want to join? About $60 million were stolen. And by stolen, I mean they spent $43 million on lavish stays at hotels and resorts. And also, of course, private jets. Here's actually most likely what happened. Throughout my career, I hired over 100 people and I had to fire a few as well. That's never a great experience. If you can keep your company small in terms of employees, try to do that. Once you get to 15, 20, especially 30 people and more, you will have drama. So unless you are ready to handle that, try to have as few employees as you possibly can. I had this entry-level employee in 2019 ask me for a raise, and I thought, okay, yeah, we can do a small raise. That sounds reasonable to me. And then the employee laid out all the things that the employee was doing, and most of them made sense. Some of them I thought, I don't see any value really, but they don't hurt the company. Okay, whatever. But this employee asked for a raise that was actually quite big. In fact, that employee would then be making more than the manager. More than the manager. The manager works more hours and their responsibilities are much harder to handle. When I pointed this out to the employee said, yeah, I should make more than the manager. And then I asked, well, would you like to take these responsibilities off a manager? No, I do not want these responsibilities of a manager, but I should still get paid more. That was something new to me. I have never dealt with that kind of entitlement until that moment in my life. I'm specifically talking about dealing with employees. That sense of entitlement is not great. I mean, if people want to unionize, it's fine. But you cannot ask to be paid a lot more for work where you don't get paid much usually. I mean, if you want a promotion, that's fine, that's great. Work a little bit more. Or go to another company that already has a union. When you join Tesla, I mean, you have to give it your all. It's a different kind of culture here. So this union thing, I don't view it seriously at all. There's a clear culture that has been set at Tesla already. People understand that it's already there. What are you trying to do here? Maybe you did not want to stay at the company and you're like, yeah, I'm going to quit this unless I can get paid a whole lot more without doing anything. So is there any way to do that? I have an idea. Let me present this idea to unionize, and then we will get paid more without doing anything extra. And I'm gonna quit anyway, so if this doesn't work out, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Also, unions in a tech industry, I mean, they are labeling autopilot data. So, I mean, are their lungs going to get black from all the coal that we are digging up? Are they going to lose their finger or arm by working in a factory? I don't know how dangerous this job is of labeling this data for full self-driving or the Tesla autopilot. It seems like conditions are terrible, right? Rob Maurer from Tesla Daily reported that his source says you can take a break roughly once every hour if you like to, of about 10 minutes. So you have plenty of time to go to a washroom if you need to. Then there is also a lunch break, or you can take longer breaks if you don't need a longer lunch break. So it seems flexible enough to me. I mean, I would think that it would make a lot more sense for factory workers to unionize, because even if you have the best modern equipment that is the safest, still inevitably there will be accidents. So you are taking some risk by working in a factory. I understand that. So, but an effort to unionize when you work in an office in a tech industry, basically labeling data, that doesn't make much sense to me at all. And look at this also. Starbucks store in Buffalo, New York, which is where that factory is located roughly, unionized in late 2021, which at that time made it the only unionized shop among the chain's 9,000 company-owned stores in the United States. And you know what Starbucks has been doing? It has been closing stores. The first one that unionized, specifically in Seattle, has been shut down recently. And this is the Tesla stock buying opportunity explained by Elon Musk. My name is Matt Post. Just like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.